tough pickup truck that's been steadily improved to bring it closer to the class leaders, Ford's Ranger has much to offer. Has it got the wherewithal to challenge for top honours in the competitive UK pickup sector? Let's find out. Pickups have come a long way in the last few years. Until the turn of the century, they were basic utilitarian things, but by 2005, the standard had risen so dramatically that some buyers could consider double cab versions of vehicles like Nissan's Navara, Toyota's Hilux or Mitsubishi's L200 as almost realistic alternatives to a family estate. Now, they weren't quite as refined to drive, but for those with hard day jobs wanting the same vehicle for weekend use, they were just a ticket. Now, Ford's Ranger pickup was improved at about the same time too, but it took until the launch of this third generation version for the Blue Oval to really get on terms with its competitors. Now, you sit perched up high in any pickup, and this Ranger is no exception. Your impressions as to its handling will probably depend on how realistic your expectations are. Now, if you're expecting some kind of family 4x4, you'll be disappointed, but come to it having experienced an older generation of pickup, and you'll likely find the on-road experience a revelation. The ladder frame chassis and live leaf-sprung rear axle are designed to accommodate heavy loads rather than to provide for a cosseting ride. But the whole experience really isn't that far off the clunkier passenger 4x4s on the market, and the 12.6 metre turning circle really isn't too bad for this type of car either. Off-road, you'll forgive it everything. Four-wheel drive is available in high and low ratios, and good ground clearance up to 207mm, together with front and rear overhangs that don't catch too readily in tight gullies, should make this car well suited to everything but the kind of off-piste situations that you really shouldn't have been in the first place. If things really do turn bad, then a torque-sensing limited slip differential at the rear should help you through. A wading depth of up to 750mm should also help you through the worst of the winter storms. Power for entry-level Ranger models is supplied by much the same 2.5 litre common rail injection diesel engine as before, developing 143 PS and doing so from a usefully low 2000 RPM. Now, if you need more grunt, there's a 156 PS 3 litre TDCi engine that on paper doesn't look a great deal faster. It goes from rest to 60 in 11.3 seconds as opposed to 12.5. But the important figure is pulling power. There's 380 newton meters of torque rather than 330. Now, that's enough to cope with a payload of up to 1,235 kilograms, depending on the model you choose. And it's enough to tow along a load that's up to 750 kilograms unbraked or up to 3,000 kilograms braked. And talking of anchors, there's a hydraulic braking system with ABS on all four wheels. If you opt for the 3 litre TDCi, there's also an automatic gearbox option. This Ranger is more distinctive than its predecessor thanks to the same kinetic design which has served Ford's passenger cars so well. Now, for business buyers, there's a choice of the regular cab two-seater, which has a tipper option, or the super cab model with its occasional rear seats. But most will want to go for the double cab version that I have here, which is a design also intended to appeal to the leisure-orientated private market, for the kind of buyer who likes active outdoor pursuits and wants something a bit tougher and more versatile than an ordinary SUV. At the wheel, it's pretty family orientated with plenty of cubbies, boxes and bins for storage. You've even got this useful pull-out tray. You've got, of course, that great driving position, which is compromised only by the lack of reach adjustment on the wheel. As you can see, it only goes up and down. And this rather utilitarian umbrella handle style handbrake. The silver detailing is nice, the 3-ring instrument cluster is easy to read, and on this top Wildtrak model you've got these 3 extra gauges mounted on the centre console which show you pitch and roll, external and internal temperature, and even there's a digital compass. Space for rear seat passengers is rather less generous than for those at the front, thanks to the somewhat upright position. But there's more legroom than you might expect. It's a pity that there's no centre 3-point seatbelt though, only this lap belt. Now, if you get out, it's possible to fold the rear seat down using this strap and provide a flat surface for anything that you haven't managed to fit in the back. There are 3 load box sizes depending on the body style that you choose. Now this double cab Ranger has a class leading load box length of 1,530 millimetres, a width of 1,456 millimetres and a depth of 465 millimetres, and there are some useful load box tie downs here to keep items from sliding around during transit. Ranger models start from around the £13,000 mark, excluding the dreaded VAT, but the double cab models that most people will want range somewhere in the £17,000 to £22,000 bracket. Now, in comparison with rivals, you're looking to pay about the same for a Toyota Hilux or a Nissan Navara, while Ford's pricing pictures this Ranger in its 143 and 156 PS forms, kind of midway between Mitsubishi's L200 in its 134 and 165 PS guises. Whether you choose the regular cab or super cab 2 or 4-wheel drive options, or indeed any of the 4-wheel drive double cab variants, you should find that 6 airbags and ABS are fitted to most models, but from there on the sky's the limit depending on the spec that you choose. This Wildtrap model, for example, comes with a decent CD stereo, leather seats, alloy wheels, air conditioning, parking sensors that really are useful on a vehicle like this, and enough chrome brightwork to leave onlookers needing sunglasses on a hot day. One nice option is this Armadillo concertina in cover that keeps items dry and safe in transit. Now, because pickups are classified as commercial vehicles, they have a low benefiting kind rating with the taxman, yet have most of the comfort and facilities of a normal family car. Now, that tax loophole has changed in recent years for those classified as employees, but has continued for the self-employed who can, if registered, claim back the VAT on the purchase price. Now, that might go some way to offsetting the rather thirsty showing that you'll get from almost any pickup at the pumps, although 30.4 miles to the gallon on the combined cycle from this Ranger in entry-level 2.5 litre TDCI form isn't really too bad for a vehicle of this size and weight, even if it is accompanied by 255 grams per kilometre of CO2, a showing that won't get you on the Greenpeace Christmas card list. Service intervals are every 12 months or 6,000 miles. Ford haven't done things by halves with this Ranger, testing it rigorously throughout the world to ensure that it's well up to the toughest kind of treatment that the average UK operator is liable to dish out. It isn't the smoothest operator in the pickup sector, but it is one of the toughest and best value, qualities that matter greatly to potential buyers. Families and businesses that need real utility matched to acceptable levels of comfort won't do a whole lot better.